me, Cyberpunk 2077 has always been a game about exploration and mystery, but sometimes as players we can explore a little bit too far and see things we were never meant to. Join me today as we go over all the things the developers never wanted you to see. And if you do enjoy this content, do leave a like and consider subscribing, as that's the best way to support the channel. Now, let's get on with the video. Our first one for the day is located at Republic East, and is part of the Electric Corporation number 6 building. So located just opposite the fast travel, there's this actual wall over here. Now, if we come up to here, you can see that it looks like a developer may have forgotten to add one of the sheets in, so you can actually see inside of this building. Now, you can actually get in there using one of the power jumps or the double jump, and yeah, you're definitely not meant to be in here. You can see these some weird steps over there, and yeah, a floating door as well up here, as well as this unused area as well over here. Now, this is actually the location of one of the main missions in the game. We actually come here to save Evelyn, as right next to it is the actual entrance to that underground area. Now, one of the secret ways you could get in was jumping up through the back door over here, which actually leads us to the area that was unused. So if we come through here, which is a way that you're normally meant to come, there's this door over here. Now, you can see that there is an intercom, again, not scannable, but in here it's actually got a ladder that goes down into this area here, where we've got another non-scannable intercom. But very strangely enough, just behind here, there's actually a door. So I don't know if this was actually meant to come into this other room at some point, but we can still access it ourselves at the moment, thanks to the gap in the wall. Our next one is in Westbrook, right next to the assault in progress, where it appears that we do have a little bit of a meeting going on here. However, if we're to go into the tunnel just behind them, you might notice something a little bit strange. So as you can see at the back of the tunnel here, just past the gang, there's a load of construction materials here, and what appears to be a tree growing out of the ground. Yeah, not quite sure why this one's here. Just simply looks like one of the developers forgot to remove the tree. But yeah, now it just looks like it's growing outside of the out of the floor here. But this one was a little bit strange because it's not exactly that well hidden. You can literally see it from outside of the tunnel. Then again, the tunnel does seem to have fungus growing on top of it as well. Either way, it was nice of CD Projekt Red to add a little bit of greenery to the tunnel. The next one is over here in Haywood, Vista Del Rey, right next to the Republic and Vine fast travel. Some of you might recognize this area as Takimura's hideout. Well, also hidden away here is an entire second floor. For whatever reason though, it never got used. You can actually see that it is all fully rendered in here. But yeah, we've got graffiti, we've got other things on the wall, but you can tell it was never quite finished. Unfortunately, the door is not usable either, but I just thought it was strange how we have graffiti over here and things like that. Now, sadly, this door doesn't actually lead anywhere other than out onto this open area. Like I said, the odd thing is that that's the only room that's actually available at this floor. Kinda makes you wonder what this was for. Was this more content that we never got to experience? One other interesting thing to note here is that you can't actually skip time in this area. However, as soon as you move out of the room, you are once again able to skip time. Next one is located near the Terra Cognita in Dogtown. Now, in Dogtown, if we were to come down this alleyway here and follow it all the way down to the bottom, we'll come across a rather lovely little surprise down here for us. You can see there's actually a man's head in the floor down here. Now, it turns out he'd been bullying some of the residents of Dogtown, and they didn't take too kindly to that, but it certainly implied that they've chopped him up to bits here. So it might surprise you to know that he's not actually been chopped up to bits. Yeah, the guy's just buried up to his neck, so I'm not actually sure what all the chunks of meat next to him are, because it certainly isn't our boy here. I don't know why, this is one of my most favourite things that I've ever found. I just think it's really ridiculous that they didn't just get ahead, they had to put the whole entire body down here. So that does make you wonder, who's this then? Our next one is located here on the edge of Pacifica, where one of the developers has not quite finished the highway system. You see, located just below the floor here, we can see that we've actually got one of the overpass barriers. Now, I'm never sure, especially with assets this large, why the developers never just delete them, and instead they move below the ground. Because surely if you want to improve performance, leaving things like this lying about is definitely not gonna help. Ultimately, the developers went for this more simplistic design here, but why this one stayed behind, I don't think we'll ever know. For the last one today, I thought we'd end on a nice little Easter egg, something that you were meant to see. This once again is located in Vista Del Rey, right behind Takamura's hideout. So you might have noticed that there's this alleyway over here. Now, if you actually come down here, you can actually jump up into this hut. It took me a little while to find this because it can be a little bit difficult, but just over here, there's a hole that you can drop down into and find this rather odd little shack. And what this is it's actually a reference to the 7 deadly sins. You see, it looks like our friendly Tube here was literally fed until his guts exploded. Now, there is an archived conversation that you can pause and feel free to read through here, but it is literally him just luring him to the meeting place so that he can come over and feed him to watch his guts explode. But I thought this was a really cool Easter egg that I've not really ever seen mentioned before. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have time for today. If you do enjoy the video, do leave a like, consider subscribing, and until next time, peace.